Hey y'all, it's Sarah, the wine-loving bookworm, back with another book and wine review for your Sunday night. Um, okay, so let's start with the wine. Last week I did a white Bordeaux. Gosh, can I get that word out? Um, and this week I'm going to do a red Bordeaux. So I never heard of a white Bordeaux, but I've definitely heard of a red Bordeaux. Love me some French wine. This is Chateau Fage. It's a lot of French, but it's a red Bordeaux, okay? It is, Chateau Fage is a historic estate in France, so that's really cool. Now I want to go. The wine is 65% Merlot, 25% Cabernet, 5% Petit Verdot, and 5% Malbec. Intense licorice aroma. Ugh. I do not like black licorice. I don't like anise. I don't like any of that stuff. So let's see if I like this. Take a sniff of it first, see if I can get that licorice. Not really. Let me try it. That's good. It's a little bit different than other French wines. Usually French red wines are very, very light. This has a little bit more of a bite to it. Let me take another sip. Not bad. I wouldn't say that's my favorite in the world, but that's not bad. Okay, so Chateau Fage, red Bordeaux. Bordeaux. Okay, let's move on to the book. I read a book called Station 11. The author is Emily St. John Mandel. There's a lot of names in there. The genre is fiction, about 350 pages. I've heard a lot about this book, and in the time of coronavirus, I thought it would be maybe not appropriate to read it, but I went ahead and did it anyway. Because it is about a flu virus that wipes out the world. So I love these apocalyptic things in the middle of our non-apocalypse, but you know what I mean. So a little bit about the author first. She's Canadian, which makes sense. A lot of the book takes place in Toronto. She went to the School of Toronto Dance Theatre to major in contemporary dance. Guess that didn't work out, or maybe it did. It didn't. There wasn't a lot of information about her dance career on the internet. This is her fourth novel out of 5. She also wrote Last Night in Montreal, Singer's Gun, The Lola Quartet, Lola Quartet, Lola Quartet. I cannot speak tonight. And The Glass Hotel. Okay, so like I said, this is about a flu virus that comes around and spreads around the whole world. A lot different than COVID. It kills people within 48 hours. And it's very deadly. It's 90. They're not exactly sure because no one knows how many people are left on the earth, but they think it's a 99% mortality rate. So there's only 1% of humans left on the earth. So the book in present day, post-apocalypse, it's year 15 or something, and they always said the first couple of years were really, really bad, but now things have kind of, people are just living their lives as best as they can do without electricity and running water and, cell phones. So the present day chronicles a troupe of performers basically doing Shakespeare, and they're going around in the post-apocalyptic area of I think it's about Michigan, Illinois, in that area. And they just put on performances for these new little towns, cities, or not cities, I guess, little towns, little settlements, I guess you would call it, of people who have started living places. They've kind of settled down. And I guess in the first couple of years, everybody was kind of just wandering, and it was very dangerous. And then people started just kind of settling and finding a place to just put up their hat. But these guys continue to go around, perform Shakespeare. They seem to be popular. And they have a route that they go, and they don't really go too far out of it because that's just what they know. So they run into a prophet, and they had been through this town previously, and when they get back, it's all changed and weird. And they find that there's this guy who's kind of overtaken the town, and he calls himself a prophet. And he thinks this is the end times and, that whole deal. But this is kind of he's running a cult, and they actually turn out to be somewhat dangerous. So that will loop around again, and you'll figure out who the prophet is at the end. It's all very interconnected because what they also do is flash back to pre-apocalypse, pre-virus world. And a lot of it follows an actor who dies right before the apocalypse starts. named Arthur Landry. And I won't, that's not spoiling anything. It's like the first page of the book. And it follows his life and his wives and, things he's done. He's kind of like he's in his 50s, aging for actors. 50s isn't old, but for an actor. And he's doing stage now. And it follows his life a lot in the pre-apocalypse world. And then things from his life are what this girl in the post-apocalyptic world like hangs on to. It's hard to describe, but she actually, when she was a child, did a play with him. And so she just like holds on to this guy for some reason, his memory and his legacy. And so there's a lot of parts of him that she kind of holds on to after the virus. It's just, the book is so good, and it weaves in all the stuff from pre-virus to the stuff post-virus, and it's just kind of effortlessly, still can't talk, weaves them together and makes this great story. And there's these little threads that go through, and it all comes back around in the end. And it was just such a great book. I literally read this in one day. I could not put it down. Literally read it in one day. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This is an amazing book. You should pick it up. She was a National Book Award finalist. She won, I forget, she won something for it, but she was like 4 awards she was up for. She won one of them. So, I don't know. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It did not disappoint. If you like this at all, even if you don't like it, it's not like zombies and people killing each other. It's not like that at all. It's more of a human spirit story, and about hope, and about, not taking for granted what you've got around you, I think, at the end of the day. A couple of the things I felt like she didn't wrap up. She kind of put something out there but didn't like wrap it up, which made me, I don't know. It was almost like it wasn't on purpose, like she forgot to do it or something. Maybe that's totally wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. But there were a couple moments where I felt like she should have kept going, and she just kind of left it, and didn't go any farther. So that I didn't love about the book. But overall, I mean, this book was amazing. I would give it 5 stars. It's a really good book. So pick it up. Station 11. You're not going to be disappointed. Next week, my mother-in-law gave me this book. I need to do something a little lighter. I've been doing a lot of like heavy duty books lately. And this is called The Hideaway. And this is just a fun little fluffy romance story, I believe. And I am not really a fan of romance stories, but so far I actually do like this book. It's set in Alabama and New Orleans, which just, it has this great southern charm to it. So I'm going to see where it goes. But yeah, I thought I'd do something a little lighter for next week. Give us a break in all this chaos that we're living in. Okay, so that's it for me tonight. Guys, pick up Station 11. You're not going to be disappointed. Red Bordeaux, let's give it another shot. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, if you like real light red wines, it's a little bit more bitey than normal French wines, but it's good. It's drinkable. Hey. All right, guys, I hope that you have a great week. Stay safe and healthy. Wash your hands, and I will see you next week when I talk about The Hideaway. Cheers.